So if the world is going to end tomorrow, this watch right here might be, the perfect way to go out in style. Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and this is the latest MAEN seconde collaboration watch, the Manhattan Project, a pretty radical take on their Manhattan 37. So in this video, I'll be reviewing this very special piece. I will answer your most frequently asked questions like, Jenny, what is even going on here? What is seconde? How does it wear? And many more. So let's get started. Right, so a quick heads up for transparency before we start. MAEN sent me this watch beforehand so I could spend some time with this watch to, test and wear it because I really like the watch. I decided to collaborate with MAEN and help them promote the watch. So this is a sponsored video. As always, all my opinions in this video are still my own, and MAEN did not get the script or the video beforehand and was not allowed to give any requirements for the content. So let's continue with the review. Right, let's quickly cover our hard facts to kick off this review. This is a 37mm diameter case with a height of only 9.3mm and a lug-to-lug of 47mm. The entire watch is made from 316L steel with an integrated 3-link bracelet that closes in a butterfly clasp with the logo on it. The crystal on top is a sapphire one, and the entire case is water resistant up to 10 ATM or 100 meter. Inside beats a Sellita SW201B, which, different to the SW201A, is a true no date, since this watch has, no date, as you can see. The bezel follows the octagonal elongated shape of the case, switching between, polished and satin brushed finishes. The silver dial sports these very beautiful Côte de Genève stripes, which MAEN is very well known for, which makes, a striking background for the minute and hour hand while leaving out the indices. But, let's address the elephant in the room now, the case back. Okay, I'm just kidding. We are going to talk about the case back, of course, but first we're going to check out the dial, because this is really special, not only for, very obvious reasons, but I guarantee you there's even more to that. So let's have a look. As I've mentioned before, this is a seconde collaboration, and I'm very sorry if I'm mispronouncing this one. I did not take French in school. It is their second collaboration, to be precise. They are a French creative, and the best way I can describe his work is that he kind of memifies watches, like picking apart the thought or the idea of a watch and then building it back together the way one could think about it in a way. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm making much sense right now, but I guess that's the point. Anyway, let's go to the watch back itself and dissect it, piece by piece. And we are going to start with the dial. Like I said, the entire dial shows the same vertically elongated Côte de Genève stripes, which, depending on, the light hitting the dial, can make it look rather, very bright or very dark, which, is an effect that I already loved on their Manhattan Ultra Thin, which I had shown you in a previous review. If you want to check this out, I will link it for you down below. It just really makes the dial pop and stand out, which, I just really like. If you have seen seconde's work before, you can very much recognize him on this dial too. The usual Manhattan 37 lettering on the lower half is censored by the word project, which makes for a very clear cue for the collaboration's name by using, the model name itself, since this is called the Manhattan Project. Not only because this is a MAEN Manhattan, but because it is themed around the Manhattan Project itself, which was a research and development program during World War II to produce the first nuclear weapons, directed by Oppenheimer. And so now that we know the basis of the idea, we can understand and, appreciate the design choices even more, I think. The dial has been stripped off its indices, leaving only the Manhattan Project name, the hour and minute hand, and, the very, striking nuclear radiation sign in the middle to, represent the nuclear nothingness and the, life-threatening consequences of the project, according to MAEN. And, I have to agree, looking at this empty dial with only the radiation sign in the middle does feel very eerie. Having it all very, monochrome in terms of color, and then you get this bright yellow sign in the middle really delivers the theme. And talking about the theme and the emptiness, for the rest of the video, I'd like you to, watch out for the second hand and let me know how long it took you to find it in the comments down below if you found it. Okay, but right now, as I promised, I also want to highlight the case back here. I am always a big fan of engravings. I, had my own watch engraved too. And on this very special collaboration, we get an engraving that really brings home the very serious theme of the watch. It is a quote from Oppenheimer himself.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
He cited this from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. The interview in which he said that is from 1965 when he was interviewed by the NBC, remembering, the Manhattan Project, which by then was about like 23 years ago when it started. The entire NBC program is available to watch for free on YouTube, which I think is really nice. It is about 1.5 hours long, I think, and it's a really interesting watch. I'll put the link in the description box down below if you like. The engraving is done very well. It's super sharp and centered, and the mix of, a serif font and a non-serif font works really well in my opinion. There's also a circle going around it, a very fine one, which lets you know that this is a collaboration between MAEN and Seconde. Right, now that we have talked about the entire idea of the watch and what it all means, we still need to touch on how it wears, because at the end of the day, that is one of the most important things. So let's have a look right here. So since this is a 37mm diameter watch with an integrated bracelet, it does wear, a bit larger than you would expect from a 37mm watch. But as you can see here with my, right now, it's like a 145 to 150mm wrist. I can still, would say, pull it off very nicely, which is thanks to the 47mm lug-to-lug and the fact that, the bracelet just, wraps around really nicely around the wrist. So, I've had the Manhattan Ultra Thin in for a review before, which was only 6.3mm in height. But I have to say that these 9.6mm for this one right here, they don't wear very thick either. 9.6 is still considerably thin, and the fact that the case is compact too, makes for a very comfortable watch to wear that easily, slides under your cuff if it needs to, but still has enough presence to stand out if you want it to, which is a great mix. And lastly, I want to talk to you about the pricing and the availability with this one. Since this is a special, limited edition, you can now sign up to get notified on their website, so you receive a reminder when the watch goes live on Friday the 7th of June. It will only be available to order for 24 hours starting from 4 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to, grab one, you should do so while you can. The price is $1,171.71. The limited edition then will be shipped, I think, by the end of November. That's what it says on the website this year, for all of the lucky ones that are able to grab one. And here we have it, the full story on the very special new MAEN and Seconde collab. I have to say the watch looks very intriguing to begin with, and the more you know and learn about it and understand the message and idea, I think the cooler it gets. This is definitely perhaps a bit of a controversial conversation starter, and definitely a collector's piece, especially for those of you who are, really fascinated by everything doomsday related. At the end, I'm just, really happy that MAEN picks up where so many other watch brands seem to just stop. To me, storytelling is such an important part of a watch and why it appeals to me. And, I would love to see a lot more like this in the future from MAEN, and of course from the other brands too. Just, involve a bit of storytelling and messages in your watches. I would absolutely love that. And I think a lot of people would love that too. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, I recommend subscribing to my channel. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye.